Mr. Montisetse, thank you so much for your patience in coming back to, of course, continue this conversation. But if you may allow me, I want to go back to the first question that I initially asked you about these companies that you raising concerns around, say that they seem to be prioritizing, more of profit and not their workers.
Yes, no, thank you very much to give us the opportunity to address this kind of behavior of the company called the VMR and also Kangra, which is operating in KwaZulu-Natal and also in Mpumalanga. Of course, as the union, we have received Section 189 from these companies, and it was a very disappointing moment that when we are dealing with the coronavirus, some companies took an advantage of getting right with their workers. We then immediately reported this kind of behavior to the Minister of DMR, and Montisetse, of which he called this company to order. As it stands now, we met with the VMR company and we agreed that we are going to deliberate on the issue of Section 189. But the main thing that we met with them was about unpayment of workers. But we can report now that through UIF, workers have been able to be paid by this company, and the only outstanding payment is for those workers who are coming from SADC and some South African citizens, of which we are making follow-up on that matter. I have to get a report from the executive in the evening today about the payment of such workers. But again, what is bothering us is the company called Sibanye Stillwater, which is mostly an international company because it's operating in America and other areas in Africa. It's a big company. We wonder why this company has taken a decision that it's not going to pay workers. It's going to apply to UIF. It's really, really disappointing because companies like your Anglo-Gold Ashanti, Anglo-American, and Northern Platinum, and Rashimon and Rustenburg, they have agreed that they will pay workers, and even this month, May, they will pay full salaries of workers. Now, a company like Sibanye just decided not to pay workers. It's really disappointing. But however, we are meeting Sibanye today at 2 o'clock to discuss this matter.
I mean, just reading your statement, Mr. Montisetse, it seems that out of the companies that you have engaged with, Kangra being one of them, VMR being one of them, you're mentioning now Sibanye Stillwater, were there other companies that refused to engage with you altogether?
Well, there are some companies that have not even bothered to talk to us. We're still challenging some companies. Yesterday I was called by a worker from Rustenburg. He's working for a company called Sianda, whereby he told me that they have not received their salaries. So those are kind of companies that we still monitoring from our regional level to get which company has not paid workers and has never been bothered to talk to the union about their financial problems. So we are making follow-up every day about companies that are ignoring payment of workers.
What about the option then of UIF? Of those companies that you had the opportunity to engage with, have they applied for that UIF relief?
Well, of course, company will claim that they have applied for UIF, but the Minister of Labour has put it very clear that it doesn't take long for companies to receive money from UIF. Some companies did not really, the example is Sibanye. Even today, workers have been paid 2 weeks of their outstanding salary of April. They have not yet been paid, but this company claimed that they have applied to UIF. As to when they have applied, we don't know. We are going to engage them today at 3 o'clock. We'll have a meeting with them.
All right.
So some companies are punishing workers. They are not applying in time for this UIF.
I want to then come just to close into a separate issue here that you have with KMJV and Joseph Montisetse. I understand there's companies in the Northern Cape and they are reducing salaries by up to 12.5%. You have said you found this to be quite opportunistic and you're taking them to court. Please give us, just the details on that matter so far.
Yes, of course, this company called CAM, it has taken advantage of the situation and has served the regional leadership of Northern Cape of the National Union of Mineworkers with a letter to say they are going to cut salaries of workers by 12.5%. We are saying in this one, we are not budging because it is very clear here that it's a deliberate attack against workers. We are going to take them to court. We take them head on because they are not even stipulating the reasons why they want to cut workers' salaries, except to say that it is because coronavirus. It is about time that companies must display their bank balance in terms of the profits that they have made before coronavirus. They cannot just claim that coronavirus, then they don't pay. I think it is about time that the government, through Department of Labor, should demand that companies should actually display their salary, their bank balance, profit that they have made in the past 6 months before coronavirus.
Well, thank you so much. That was NUM President Joseph Montisetse talking to us there about some of the actions they're taking against those companies who plan through Section 189 to retrench some of their workers. But also KMJV, they're making mention that the company in the Northern Cape had planned to reduce salaries by 12.5%, which they say they do aim to take them to court as they see this as quite opportunities.